Oh, yep, start with a burp. Okay, let's crank down the sensitivity on that a little bit. Hello, 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 hello. Guys, it's the weekly whatever, and feels so good to be back. Fortunately, what have we come back to? I've been trying this new Enchantments deck. I've added blue to it in hopes to get, more counterplay, but we'll see if it's panned out. We'll see a lot of familiar cards in here. Pretty much my my green-white Calyx deck with blue. You know what? This is dumb. No! No, we do not! Go away! Don't bother us! I knew you'd get a kick out of that name, Sonia. I need to scalp a child's card game. Yeah, don't we all? It's the only really true way to make guaranteed money. What did you think of the title? It's great, right? You've taken them all! Yeah. Seriously, though, you guys have taken every single Elite Trainer box of that set that we have. So, you're gonna have to sit tight for, Wave 2. Yeah. Seriously, though, you guys love Eevee. I mean, at this point, I'm starting to think you like him more than Pikachu. I'm not gonna tell him that, though. Eevee will get a big head. This preemptive shelter from ghosts actually might have really worked out for us. Not the rats. Alright. So this is one of those cards I put in. This prints bodies. It prints bodies when enchantments show up. Problem is it requires blue. So, it might be a little while until we have enough blue. Lucky, he can't block. These rats cannot block. This rat can, but you don't want to lose this rat. This is an important rat. This is a load-bearing rat right here. Crank up the volume a little bit more. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, but not for me. He couldn't pay the cost. Can't pay the cost. He pays the price. But honestly, the support we've gotten for Prismatic Evolutions is insane. I want to thank everyone for coming out and giving us your money. It means a lot as a local business that you give us your money. And I know I'm saying this like a joke, but, we do need it. I mean, if we didn't need your money, why would we be... Well, we'd still be here. We'd still be here if we didn't need your money. But, I'm saying that as knowing that, we're probably never going to want your money. I mean, I could ask Sonia. Sonia, if we didn't need their money, would we be here? She's not shaking her head yes or no. She actually looks a little disappointed in me. Oh, guys, this might be my last stream. Yeah, this might be my last stream, guys. So what, you miss one ward cost and you're just gonna pout about it? Dude, I didn't even get my full power of my deck. Oh. Give us your money. I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. Probably should have passed the 1/1s out to another creature, make it larger. But, judging by, like, what's been going on, I think this guy's just gonna pout and give me the win. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, sorry, I'm not... Nothing's coming to mind right now. I think it's just because I'm so good at card games, everybody. Let it be known. Yeah. Do I want to push this? Yeah, push the button again. Let's go again. I gotta show you that there's blue cards in this deck. Okay, there's some blue. Bayflight. I put it in here because it's pretty much a more expensive Shard Mage protection. I'm having a hard time finding the words for that. Ooh, that's a good artwork. That's something we're gonna have to get rid of. He's a Sunslayer. That's the thing, it's just gonna start popping enchantments. Okay, now all the lands show up? Should I be cutting lands? That doesn't seem like a healthy thing to do for a deck. Hey guys, this is desperation, what I'm doing right here. To pop that at the end step. be honest, a card like this that can just pop enchantments every time it bops you. My worst nightmare right here. We might draw a miracle, but I don't think it's likely. This is it. There's no out for me here. Put on your coat like you're going somewhere, Eli. Are you?
No, I just...
It's a good coat. Yeah, I'd like it to. Oh, yeah. Toast. Totally toast. Actually put up the... Yeah, I've been tasked with coming up with new potential D&D products. Dark Matter, one of them. D&D in space.
But not like Spelljam.
More like... Well, that show Dark Matter, actually. No relation, but, you know... Kind of cool that it is there. I don't really think it's interested in compatibility. Certain classes or other player options grant you essentially magic mode. Which is weird, but you know, it makes sense for a more tech-focused game. Just get a little more in the frame here. Wish I could give it the mouse to see this more, but there's a stream going on. Ooh, okay, that's playable. The problem with having 3 colors, there's a lot of good cards to pull from. And I'm constantly like thinking, well, you know what would be a really good card to put in here? But there eventually becomes a point where your deck is all good cards and no means to draw them. So, a cake that's all frosting is barely a cake.
I don't think it actually is a cake at that point.
It's all frosting. Oh. Sonya says like, hey, is it a good deck? And like, is it cake or is it frosting? He says it's a good deck. Yeah, and it's frosting.
Oh.
Actually, no, I think I just stumbled on an analogy that might have just enlightened myself. Like, I feel like a genius for coming up with this. What a stupid thing of me to say, but you understand it. You're hearing me.
You never know when a sudden stroke of genius will strike you.
Yeah, but like, I did this, you know. Hey, you know me, I'm not too bright.
That is impressive.
I am bright enough, but
Wait a second.
I mean, if low-functioning genius could be a thing, you know. Or maybe I'm just a high-functioning. I don't know.
I do enjoy the notion of taking the way they organized autism spectrum disorder and just applying that to like people on the whole. Like, oh yeah, that's a high-functioning weirdo, not neurodivergent in any way. He's just like
Just a
really
freak,
odd,
just
but
a real freak.
But he's quite good at what he does.
Yeah, what he does. He's also really weird. But yeah, no.
They're like, that's a low-functioning narcissist. They're narcissistic, but they don't actually like have anything to go off of here. There's nothing impressive about this person.
They're a
They just really
narcissist,
love
but-
themselves.
I mean, I would argue that's a lot of narcissists.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah. But
Yeah.
honestly, like, you know, it's judging people by their effectiveness. That's what I'm hearing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is, like, if anyone says, like, this isn't a thing you should be doing, you just say, like, well, you're just mad because you're not effective. I don't know what you do, but you're not good at it. repair. Can't attack or block alone is... Well, it's an interesting thing to put on our card. I want to lose my board state, so I just... Oh, that's what makes it good. All tokens get flying now. I mean, that feels like it's a lot, but I think it's actually quite manageable. Search up forest, my last forest actually, and I'll cast this with impending. So you know that is an enchantment, a lot of fun stuff procs. That can proc. You know what? Full send. Probably gonna... Oh! Look at that. Goal was to sneak this through, because then I could have just started copying enchantments.
Oh, yeah.
But look, at 33 life, I don't really have to worry about that thing you guys call blocking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll just
what
face
is this,
tank it.
Mr. Sadaverse, or Miss Sadaverse?
Sonya trying to sneak in. She always does that. Sonya...
That's simply the reality of this show.
Yeah, Sonya... I think she's a little jealous. Nah, she ain't.
Yeah, no.
What does that mean? But I like to think that she's jealous. Okay, I'm gonna hold this for later. I'm gonna use it as a trick.
Oh my gosh, we're the low-functioning narcissists.
Oh no, it's us. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Well, now I do feel like I'm bad at what I do. I'm ineffective. Dang. All right. So what sort of horrific teams will our enemy concoct? I think this is a huge wall of meat, so they're not going to be able to...
Yeah.
Something's going through.
Have trample, actually?
This guy's got flying, this guy's got
one.
trample, this guy's got first strike, so pretty much I'm just farming life every time that guy attacks.
This is going to be a little brutal.
This is actually something I'm still going to do. Pass out.
No.
Oh, and block him.
Just do some nice obliterating.
Just enough.
Right.
Just enough to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sneak.
Pretty good.
Yeah. You know, I was touch and go there, but it worked. Problem is, I'm at that stage of ladder climbing where I'm neither falling nor rising. I'm just going hit for hit.
Oh, that's not very fun.
Cooped up. Throwing it on a creature, exiling the creature, this goes to the graveyard, where this guy can cast it again.
I feel like the charms are mostly decorative note from the cooped up card.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a cage. Oh.
Yeah. You probably do the same with just like a particular kind of iron bar.
Yeah. Very interested in the idea of containing magical creatures through seemingly mundane means. If any of you guys are magical creatures, this wasn't aimed at you. I just find it interesting.
I do think I think that if you just make a Pokeball out of cold iron, I think that can actually capture a lot of fairies pretty easily.
I love the Fairy Odd Parents thing that a butterfly net will catch anything with wings. And that includes fairies. The incredible magic power of
Completely
fairies nullified by a butterfly net. Because fairies have wings.
This is how the world works.
It's so simple that it's so stupidly simple it's actually brilliant. They catch an airplane. Yeah, but you need a really big butterfly net.
Yeah, I feel like it's gotta fit within the volume of a
Yeah.
butterfly catcher to work. Otherwise, I think if you make it too big, doesn't it cease to be a real butterfly catcher? Because you're not really catching butterflies with it.
If you're gonna
the
say
net-
that's arbitrary and weird, well, so are fairies. You know.
Yeah, if the holes in the net are as
Yeah.
big as butterflies, then it's not a butterfly catcher anymore. You've just built an airplane catcher out of terrible constructive materials.
Yeah. Well, now I am thinking, how effective would be big net at stopping aircraft?
Not at all unless you make it out of like steel wires or something. In which
say
case,
that,
in
but
which case it will like tear apart the airplane, but it won't do much to stop the.
you say that,
stuff
but
from moving.
police have been using drones with nets to capture drones carrying drugs. So obviously it works on a small scale.
Yeah, but
How big can we stretch this
But
out?
the question is, how do you increase the thickness of the net without making that thing just like a wall? Like
Oh, yeah.
At some point, it's just like waving a huge quilt out in the air.
Honestly, if this net is just like linked chainmail, you know, I feel like it's still a net. But
Well,
I
at
do
that
see
point,
your
why
point.
don't you just stick to like steel plates?
Good old-fashioned steel plates, huh? Attach them with chain links so they kind of wiggle in the breeze.
I mean, maybe. You definitely want something to hold up all the ends of a steel plate if you're trying to block an airplane with it.
Good call.
Because otherwise, yeah, the wind might disturb it. Airplane can just fly underneath.
Oh, he's taking my whole hand away from me.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, well. Sometimes, you know, like, what are you gonna do about it, huh? I'll leave that there for now. So now he's definitely got something that can kill this guy. Yep, what did I tell you? It is a black deck after all.
Should we lower the desktop audio a little? I feel like sometimes my voice goes underneath its own volume.
Like something like that.
No, that's the microphone
So move,
volume.
raise this, or
To lower the desktop audio.
yeah, let's just pump that down to a
Yeah,
nice
that
even
seems like a
45.
good amount.
I mean, admittedly, I've heard no complaints, but I haven't been listening either.
Yeah, they've complained on previous streams,
Yeah.
and
I'd like to think that problem's fixed.
yeah, I don't know if we properly calibrated all the time.
Yeah.
You guys gotta tell us in the comments.
Yeah, that's the way this contract works.
We have
alright?
no way of gauging these things
No
because I
way.
can hear everybody fully, like, clearly.
I can hear people in the next room. They're having a great time. So this is like the one fish that could.
What?
You know, it's like, dude, it is carrying. Well, it's trying to keep me alive. It's my only way to gain life currently.
Oh. Godspeed, little fish. Godspeed.
Yeah, I think he can do it. Can't swing out with him. And unfortunately, I've tapped my fountain port. He's gonna be gaining 4 life each turn. And
Oh,
I'm gonna be
man.
losing 2 life each turn.
Oh,
This is where I wish I had Calyx, because if I hit with him, I can copy this to that, and then just pay that exile cost and send it away forever.
listen, Seda, it would not make me feel better if people complained, but it would give me good feedback. It would be useful.
The
if people
complaining is a
complained.
means to the end, you know?
It's not fun. It's just a necessary evil.
Yeah, you think we wake up like, oh boy, I hope someone whines at me today? No, it's so we can become better people.
I mean, I hope that like some specific people do it in public really obnoxiously, because that might give me an excuse to rough them up a little, or at least like talk them down.
Nah, don't
like,
listen to him. I don't think he could rough up anything. But yes, I mean, honestly, a public confrontation actually, well, I feel like it's less likely for, you know, to come to blows at that point. As long as it depends on me. Alright, we've gained a little bit of life. Oh, we're gonna be losing a lot of it, though. Oh, the unholy combo. So, when an opponent loses life, they gain that much life. Okay. Okay, no, I think we're getting...
This is so bad.
We're getting mega drained.
Yeah, we're... Oh,
I don't know...
Jesus.
I don't know how we break this. Because if I casted this, I could exile it and be done. But...
Oh, no.
That requires sorcery speed, and we're getting beaten on the upkeep here.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we just...
A real piece, you.
Oh, darn.
Oh.
Not cool.
Dang. Oh.
Just not
They're
cool.
mean out here, you know?
Oh,
Watch your
never
back.
mind. Oh, Jesus, we just lost a viewer. It sucks so much.
Yeah, no.
Man.
Yeah, evil villains all around. Hope it's not Burning Monkey. I kind of missed his hydrate thing because I didn't hear a noise. I was just on such a good roll there. Okay, I'm gonna cut another land from this. Oh. But when you're at this point, you've hit the struggle point, you know? You're doing right now is called struggling. Admittedly, this is only in here to draw me cards.
What? Oh.
Because I can copy it and it draws cards.
All
that
right.
might be fun. My opponent's creatures.
Oh yeah. I saw Brian having a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, that one's just mean for people.
Yeah, he and,
yeah, okay, I'll get something to drink, Seda. Jeez. Stop caring about me.
Look, Seda, here's the issue. He only drinks Dr. Pepper.
No,
like,
not really. I've been hitting these lime liquid depths they got.
That's an improvement.
They're really good. I do want to get something to drink, but right now I'm just kind of on such a roll, and not that I don't trust Eli here, but he'll flounder without me.
Yeah, I don't know the game.
See? Yeah, no.
I'm...
This isn't even like a mean thing I'm saying.
Yeah, if he lets me in charge of this, I'm just gonna, like, sit here and
quietly
talk. Like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna, like, have to start ranting about random astronomy facts to you guys to vamp for time. I don't have any other skills.
Nothing, yeah. Almost spit out your water? Well, don't do that. Well, don't do that then.
Yeah, aren't you in front of a computer? Now is not the time for a spit take. Okay, he's coming back. We're not doomed.
Hey, he just all it takes is like a quick walk to the fridge. Sorry about that, buddy. I know, like I did it to prove a point, and that doesn't.
No,
feel
you
great.
actually did need the hydration.
Yeah, no,
This is
the
good.
chat had demanded it, and apparently, like, my kidneys are mostly stone. So
Yeah, I think they're the most solid organ in your body at this point.
yeah, it actually kind of filters blood like one of those charcoal filters at this point.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do not want to get gout just from dehydration. That's almost embarrassing in today's industrialized society.
So, okay, new things we've made fun of. People with gout.
People with gout
Yeah, okay.
from dehydration.
Okay,
If
yeah.
you somehow manage to...
Do we have any gout-infected viewers?
Listen, Seda, that's like...
It is water.
What he's drinking is mostly water.
It's
got
mostly water.
lime in it.
Yeah, no, you can't see it because it's green. I finally convinced Sonya to stock the good flavors of Liquid Death. So
lime.
yeah, no, you can't go wrong with lime. Dude, I hate to say it, I'm a kind of a freaking lime guy. No, I get it. Good. Lemons is good too, but like,
Mine just have a special punch to them that lemons don't.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. And this one is shockingly sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Mellow lime, you know?
I do recall having some delicious, like, lemon limeade one time. It was actually homemade. Oh.
You'll have to specify water or Sonia will drink coffee.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like our Sonia.
Yeah,
that
that's...
does.
That's her.
Yeah. Coffee's probably the best stuff she drinks. And I really find it too easy to rag on Sonya. I shouldn't do that, considering that, like, this is really her stream, and I just borrow it.
It's also, like, shockingly easy to rag on us. Like,
yeah.
that's the issue here. We live in a glass house.
Oh, she's right here.
Uh-oh.
She's right here. Yeah, Sonya, lay off the coffees. They're starting to worry chat.
I mean, I've also had 3 coffees today, so...
Yeah, she's been really tired.
I am so easy. Beta!
Well, you want to get in here too?
Yeah.
Apparently we got every... No? Okay.
The whole
Tony doesn't know what we did.
Do I not know?
We mute it for announcements, because Billy's got kind of a... I don't want to call him camera shy, but, you know, he doesn't bring his A material for Fridays. Yeah. So what, you bought an OLED Switch? Oh, yeah. Dude, my sister's in the same boat.
wait, what did Nintendo do?
Switch 2, baby. But apparently not every Switch game works on Switch 2. It's like it's up to like your company to do that. Like Nintendo's not gonna help you.
It's not a full waste of your money, that's
Yeah, no.
for sure. It's still pretty good.
No, it's but let's be honest, the Switch 1 was never a really powerful console. Switch 2 is gonna run on like tech from 2018, which, you know, would sound kind of bad, but I can't think of a single technological advancement that blew me away after 2018.
I don't know of any major advancements in Nintendo technology between 2018 and now. I don't follow Nintendo that much. I'm not like a scientist there.
Well, Nintendo made like good games on like what are essentially just little boxes, you know. Like, there's not a lot of tech that went into the NES by today's standards.
Yeah. It's
what
pretty,
I'm saying
it's
is
pretty
like,
simple machinery when you get down to it.
Nintendo's, when limited by the hardware, still makes incredible games.
Yeah.
So I'm not not super worried about it.
The magic lies in the programming, really.
Yeah.
I have this friend in class. I'll call him C to retain his anonymity. C has built an AI bot called Toaster, which he fed it the entire index of the ushistory.org website, the stuff that we're supposed to use as a research resource for U.S. history class.
Yeah.
And some other random math problems, I think. So when you ask it anything, it just gets you complete nonsense. But now he's actually been upgrading it with more and more information. It's slowly approaching real sentences, instead of jumping into ranting about the Gettysburg Address.
Which was always my go-to when anyone asked me what I was learning at school.
Frankly, there's worse things to rant about as an AI. Like, you could do worse as a large language model, and this is a very tiny language model.
Yeah, a little itty-bitty language model. Barely a Babel model, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, elves. Woohoo.
That's
I'm gonna lose this.
quite the elvish group. Yeah, golly.
Damned if I do, damned if I don't, so...
Also, Phyrexian Zombie Elf sounds like something that'll be made up for a 50s sci-fi movie.
Yeah, or a band name. Not one of the good bands, though.
Yeah. Weird overlap between names of 50s science fiction movies and names of punk rock bands.
I think we're gonna have to start admitting that anything creative eventually becomes nerdy.
Well, yeah, because nerds are the kinds of people who might remember those. That's
Yeah.
what it is. So if it was actually an original concept that people really enjoyed at any point,
I need more creatures, man. I'm burning out here.
oh yeah. But if it was ever liked by people for its originality, then eventually in the future, it will be mostly overtaken in the mainstream, but some nerd will be able to see that cool bit of originality in it, and that's what will draw him in. The average person probably won't.
Did get a creature.
You know,
Too late though.
While we're on the topic of what's this?
The Dracula's thing again. The Dracula's thing.
What is the Dracula clones thing? Okay,
It was a bit that established on one of your previous streams.
Yeah, you need to.
He's already forgotten what you said.
No, I remember this, but what's your deal with creating Dracula clones?
Just to make you mad, really.
Also, it's not clones of the original Dracula, like Bram Stoker work that I'm annoyed by. It's adaptations of it. If you make your own I hate Dracula the person. I don't hate Dracula the story. Dracula the story was pretty good.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly call myself pro-vampire in any capacity.
I'm not fond of really any vampires in fiction, unless we're somehow counting Blade. But no, he's a daywalker, so he doesn't count.
It's a different brand.
And
like calling
yeah, okay.
Coca-Cola.
Then we agree. I hate Dracula the person. I hope you do as well, because he's not good.
Yeah, Dracula's bad. I don't like him.
Yeah.
I love the idea of like a big I hate Dracula t-shirt. Right.
Sold anywhere outside of Wallachia.
If I ever see that Dracula, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I love that.
But I will not be held legally responsible.
They didn't keep very true to the original book in any of the movie adaptations. In the original story, what Jonathan Harker, our main character, does after he discovers that Dracula is a vampire is he goes down into like this secret old abandoned like storage area in Castle Dracula's basement, and discovers Dracula lying there in his coffin with like his bright red eyes staring wide open as he's sleeping, and his immediate reaction as the great hero that he is to just whack him with a shovel really hard, like go straight for the head, and it like clearly it dented his head. Like he describes there being a noticeable impression on Dracula's head from this. So I guess Dracula's weak to shovels.
Is that our fourth for this bird wizard?
Oh my god, again?
He keeps showing up.
Good lord.
It
returns.
Yeah, now I just have to build a deck with him, I feel.
We need to use it. It's wasted space.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Speaking of wasted space, they just added some new non-standard set to rotation as soon as I get this golden pack. So I'm expecting 3 of them to be useless to us. Let's go. Alright, that's actually useful. Creature attacks another target creature you control gets trample, and +X. Where X is that creature's power. Okay. Okay, that's useful. That's a Foundations card.
Oh.
Creates copy tokens. Always a fan of that. Day of Judgment. It's a board wipe. That's just one of your best board wipes. Okay, so like I'm thinking all the rest of this not usable, but let's keep going. Flagstorm. 3 damage to each creature, 3 damage to each player. Okay, that's our first one. I'm surprised I don't see this played more. It's a burn spell that kind of doubles as a...
Yeah, it's a nice one.
It's a board wipe. Yeah.
I feel like it would show up more on standard.
Yeah, especially with the prevalence of mono red decks.
Oh yeah.
Scavenger's talent, not from Foundations, but is from a standard playable set, still usable. Oh, we might get away with all this. We do! This one's standard playable too. Although this one I can't see how I'd use it.
It's more complicated than the last couple of them.
Oh wait. No, enters tapped. I thought it entered untapped and you get to choose a color. Add one
mana
mana
of the chosen color. Each color among monocolored permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color.
So if you control a bunch of white creatures, you can add a bunch of white mana. It's kind of a backwards three-tree city. Only playing off of mana colors instead of creature types.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, as far as gold packs go, this was a surprise.
Yeah, this is pretty nice.
I gotta stop being so negative. Maybe good things do happen to me.
Occasionally.
Or maybe I just overdue for something bad. Oh well.
Yeah, you might be living on borrowed time. Who knows?
I mean, gotta hope whatever that is kills me. You know?
Yeah.
I'd rather it hurt a lot and then it'll all be over than it hurt a lot and you keep living. And it keeps hurting. Or maybe it just hurts a lot, but not for long.
Yeah, it just like briefly hurts a lot.
Yeah,
It's
no.
always better.
Like I got that intermuscular vaccine. That was...
The what?
Yeah, you know, they gotta put it right in your muscle.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Ooh,
those are never
meaty.
fun.
Yeah, no. Apparently the damn spike proteins go where they want, too. You know, luckily I'm, freaking ripped, so I'm stronger than the vaccine. Put that on a t-shirt. Sell it. Just sell it, you know? Money's money. Idiot money spends about as good as not idiot money.
True, like
The
even
problem is marketing to idiots, you're eventually gonna have to learn what idiots like.
yeah, that's the issue. At some point, not just that, but at some point, your audience will just assume that the people you're marketing to are exclusively idiots.
Yeah, well, as long as they don't catch on to that. I mean, how many idiots do you know that are self-aware? I would say a lot of smart people are just really self-aware idiots when it gets down to it.
Well, that's what wisdom is, I think.
Yeah.
Recognizing when you don't know anything.
Basically, like, you know, anyone could tell themselves they're smart, but gonna tell themselves they're stupid. I've said this before, I actually don't think I can stand smart people. They know they're so damn smart. And so when they're wrong, they're impossible to convince. Because they have such a great track record. Oh?
You hate unwise smart people.
Yeah, well, I've seen more smart people than wise people, I'll put it to you that way.
I feel like there's this weird group of people who are like stupid but educated in this modern age.
Because I love the Time Cube conspiracy guy when he said educated stupid. Like, you've been taught wrong. You know a lot, but you're still an idiot. Of course, he believed, like, there's 4 days per day, which, you know, there is if it makes sense. But, you know, there's infinite days per day. Every pod on this planet is experiencing a different time of day.
Yeah, you can kind of just make stuff up with that
like,
whole
why
logic.
not 3 days per day, or 7 days per day,
Or 24 for that
days
matter.
per day? No.
Yeah,
I mean, 4 is a good number, but I mean, are you deriving pure mathematical perfection? Well, maybe I shouldn't expect it to make sense, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure the point there was going for pure logical stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that that in this modern age where everybody gets access to some degree of education, you can actually get quite a bit of knowledge about how the world works without knowing anything about applying it.
Yeah.
You might have all this, you might have all these things you've heard that you've memorized now, like everybody knows that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, even if you don't know how to spell mitochondria.
And if you didn't know that, now you know that.
Well, yeah. I'm
thing
helping
is-
to spread this information that nobody even knows how to use, except if
It's
you
not
actually study
misinformation
biology.
or, I guess, junk information? I don't know. Reminds me of the thing like, I'm gonna go back in time and wow those primitive old folk with my incredible knowledge. And how do you make this electricity?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, man. It's just been a bunch of wire, I guess.
TV Tropes has a nice bit on this of the like splitting the cases of strangers in strange lands into cases where you've got stranded with Edison, like, you know, if you've got somebody who actually knows how to kickstart an industrial revolution, trapped with you on like an alien planet or ancient prehistory, then you can do some fun stuff. You could, as they say, give radio to the Romans. That's the name of, you know, we just invented a bunch of technology that's common in our age and handed it to our good friends who need it because they don't know what modern medicine is or anything like that. And then you've got the other side of it where, you know, you've got a guy whose most prominent skill is
Stranded with Leroy, who knows how to build a car, fix a car engine.
There's no cars around though, so he's kind of useless. Or if the best thing you know is how to, like, you know, make a sandwich, then yeah, you can be famous as a great sandwich maker.
Yeah.
But that's
that
not
movie where the guy writes the Beatles because he ends up in a
Yesterday.
yeah,
that was the
in
one.
a
Yeah, that
timeline
was
with
great.
no Beatles.
Yeah,
The Beatles timeline.
Yeah, he walks into a timeline where nobody remembers the Beatles, and because he's the only one who can, he becomes famous as the guy who wrote every Beatles song.
Yeah.
Like he remembers it, so he just starts his own band. And that's a fun movie.
Yeah. I wish I could. I think like no one else has seen it, so now I'm the guy who remembers yesterday.
No, my parents loved it too.
Okay, well,
That's something.
yeah, they can make yesterday. No downsizing. That movie was disappointing.
What?
Well, the idea was like the wealth divide has gotten so bad that the middle class is physically shrinking themselves smaller.
Oh, that movie. That was a bad movie.
I don't know. I
sucked.
feel like you could do a lot with like that concept of like you want extravagance so badly you change who you are, or you know, like there's things to say about this, and there's like interesting ideas of like
Why'd you put Ant-Man in it?
why would I guess he's just the become small guy. You know? Is he typecasted as small guy here? Oh. I mean, we always like wanted Paul Rudd in more things, but typecast as
This?
small guy?
You know, that's the worst niche role to get played in. Besides,
It's literally the
I guess,
smallest role.
Besides,
Thank
I
you.
guess,
Thank you, everybody.
I guess Leonard Nimoy as weird space elf. That's also pretty exclusive. You know, before he was Spock, he starred in a bunch of like B-list sci-fi movies.
So he probably just thought he was doing another one of those.
Yeah, and then it took off, and he was not allowed to do anything else basically for years.
Well, this is my life now.
I think one of his last roles before he joined the original series of Star Trek was 1958's The Brain Eaters. The whole thing was uploaded to YouTube some time back, so you can watch it. It's not that bad for a B-side sci-fi movie. It's decent. It's got quality storylines and stuff, and it is for a while.
Like that.
It does feel actually suspenseful in some parts, which is more than I can say about contemporary movies. Teenagers battle the Thing and
Heyo.
what?
No, heyo, movies suck. Like, I'm like saying, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's not like every movie sucks, but a lot of movies suck.
Or Plan 9 from Outer Space, or Destination Space. Those are all movies that aren't particularly gripping at any point in the story. In fact, you don't even understand why you're watching it in large regard. But that movie was actually a lot of fun, and one of its odd, sort of sideline stars who doesn't. One of the odd sideline stars of this whole The Brain Eaters movie that doesn't get used a lot in the whole movie was Leonard Nimoy, but he's got like a beard because apparently he just looked like that before he became Spock. Before he started acting as Spock, he actually like had a sort of scruffy beard, or at least was like wearing a fake beard for a while. Was used to these sorts of things. And yeah, he looks like a completely different person. It was only until the credits started rolling that I realized why his haircut looked a little similar. and why his voice sounded kind of the same. Like, the voice was recognizable because somehow, even at this point, he was already being typecast as monotone, either alien puppet or alien species. Because in that movie, he's a professor who has willingly joined these, like, Carboniferous era parasites that, as the title of the old movie suggests, eats your brains, but then goes on to puppet your body around. It's
They don't tell you that part.
It's sort of some odd Invasion of the Body Snatchers plot with
But, like,
extra
from
steps.
The dinosaurs' time.
Yeah, except they aren't aliens. They're just really ancient parasites that came out of the ground in this weird metal shells. That's why they thought it was a UFO. Yeah, it was a nice commentary on the UFO craze. Like, oh yeah, these people see a big metal triangle in the middle of their normal Central Park, and what do they think immediately? Must be aliens inside. What else? Because it was entertaining because it came actually not pretty close to the end of the whole everything's a UFO movie craze. 1958 was after the classics were made, like The Day the Earth Stood Still, or the other classics, which you can fill in for me. I don't watch too many of these movies.
He's watched enough to make the jokes.
But yeah, it's or teenagers.
Oh no, they're doing it to me again. I can't believe it's happening again.
Or everybody's favorite classic, Teenagers from Outer Space, came out in '55, I think. So the UFO craze was already in Hollywood, particularly. I mean, was drawing to its close by 1958 and 1959. So the Brain Eaters was sort of a retrospective look on, well, gee, wasn't that ridiculous? Like, surely there's more interesting plots to go with than everything's an alien. And yeah, because it was pretty entertaining.
Oh, big suck. Here we go.
Yeah,
Yep.
oh.
It's the nastiest infinite combo in Standard, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, I'll say this much. Leonard Nimoy makes for a great ally of evil alien invaders.
We should probably keep an eye on that guy. Dead, right?
I think he's either dead or, like, pretty old.
No, he's definitely... I think I remember him dying.
Oh, yeah, I think...
Well, that's the
pretty
thing.
sure
Like,
he
we
is.
remember him dying, but, like...
It's Nelson Mandela syndrome.
They could have just taken him away, you know? Do their little alien stuff, you know? I know I like to think that aliens want Earth, but I guess what I'm gonna ask is, it's a good planet, but is it, like, really that good? It's fine. I mean, pretty much all humans agree the worst part of Earth is it has humans on it.
Well, I think what's nice about Earth is that it at least has a range of temperatures and environments. So if you're an alien that's particular to only one of them, you can still live there for a while. But that only helps out with this whole notion in, like, more utopian sci-fi works that Earth would end up being the planet of the embassies, where everybody convenes for the Galactic Congress or whatever. I honestly think that most species would visit the Sol system because it's rich in resources. Nobody would bother going to Earth anyway. They just, like, mine Jupiter for hydrogen fuel. That's what everybody would do first. And then they move to Mars because Mars is full of iron and has low gravity, so it's really easy to ship things away from Mars. Or, Mercury. The best place to... Mercury is the best place to build solar panels because it's right next to the sun. And again,
You just have to build on Mercury.
And again, low gravity. Really easy to move things around on Mercury if you
Really
want to
tough
start
this one,
building things. And then, here's a fun one. You could just build a bunch of blimps on Venus. Like, it's pretty easy for Venus because its atmosphere is 200 times as dense as Earth's, I think. So, You could use regular air, and that's buoyant, very buoyant on Venus. You'd float to such high elevations that it's actually not gonna burn your skin off up there. You just gotta like wear a scuba suit basically to keep out the nasty fumes.
Look, I remember reading a book where like they colonized Venus, and I was just like, that's the stupidest thing you could do.
Why?
Venus sucks.
Not as much as Mars.
Even in the book, Venus sucked. It was always raining. Something about their terraform just turned it into like a rainforest.
Oh yeah,
world.
if you've terraformed it, then weird stuff starts to happen. But actually, the way it is right now is way better than any other planet we've got in the solar system in terms of colonization.
Venus, the rain's acid planet is...
You can just hang out like at the elevation of the acid clouds. You don't have to deal with... Firstly, sulfuric acid rain is not the hardest thing to deal with in the solar system, but if you hang around like really high up in the atmosphere, it's actually roughly Earth atmosphere pressures up there, Earth temperatures up there, and because there's still way more clouds to go, you have decent protection from radiation. It's all pretty great all around. It's way better than colonizing Mars, that's for sure. You know, another benefit of Venus? Earth-like gravity. Its gravity is like 0.92 Gs, which means that as long as you get some decent exercise in, you don't lose any muscle or bone mass. Just, you know, drink your milk, eat some yogurt, and hit the gym every day, and you're mostly set.
Doing black, white, and I think that's the pole I'm feeling here.
Yeah, that can work.
You have a nice little way to splash red. I mean, doing room stuff is always good. Fixing.
Rooms are fun.
But yeah, like, so Venus is good, but only if you're upper atmosphere, blimp style.
Yeah, Venus is great if you're willing to, like, keep yourselves hanging by, you know, on Zeppelins or something. In fact, if
Venus is great if you're not on Venus, is what I'm
if you want to be able to have hold a lot of weight on your ships up there, you do have to use real, like, hydrogen or helium. But what's nice is that you can actually use the hydrogen that you get from electrolysis of H2O. Because you use the oxygen that you get from blasting apart H2O molecules for breathing, and then that H2 you left over, you can either use to burn as rocket fuel, because it's really good for that, it's the best, or you could use that as your blimp material, like fill up your hot air balloons with that. And what's great is that because Venus's atmosphere is basically all CO2, it doesn't burn. Nothing burns on the outside of Venus because there's no oxygen for fires. All you gotta do is keep the oxygen in, and you're completely safe. On Venus, you can finally achieve your dream of smoking a cigarette inside of a Zeppelin.
Interesting.
Or, you know,
Never
your
considered
dream of colonizing another planet if you're a dork like that.
Use Venus as kind of a space gas station.
Perhaps not a space gas station, but a great tourist destination. Like, you can build... I'd imagine that everything up there is like a super fancy hotel. 'Cause, you know, that's what they were building Zeppelins for back in the pre-Hindenburg days. Was just a luxury cruise.
There it is
go
again.
on.
It's murder.
Oh, more murder. More murder.
Print something else. Means good card. Might be the best card here, actually.
It's a pretty great card, yeah.
Looking at what I have here, I think we just pick
Take
it up.
murder.
Yeah. Destroy target creature enchantment, you lose 2 life. Oh, look, it's better murder.
Well,
yeah, well. Oh, wait, hold on. That's a pretty good item, but I think it's too late to pivot to green. Gains first strike. Is that better than this?
oh, you lose 2 life? Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, like I said, it's not like we don't have ways to gain life, but I don't think we have them now.
Why not? Why would we focus so much effort into that when we could do fun stuff with better murder?
Yeah. Another nowhere to run.
Oh, yeah.
I think 3 is too much.
Yeah, we don't need another one though.
But you know,
We've got plenty.
It is shocking to see. Oh wait, this is a bot draft. They don't know what they're doing.
Oh.
Exile target creature. You gotta sacrifice one of your own though. What does this one do? Enters, make a glimmer. A quick creature gets 1/1. I don't really feel like I want to beg, borrow, and steal.
For a second, I thought that was the 13th Doctor from Doctor Who.
It is the pose.
Yeah.
Doctor Who loves doing that pose.
Just needs a sonic
I'm gonna take
screwdriver.
Hardened Expert. Just give my attackers indestructible. Right. Malevolent Chandelier. Cycles. Blue stuff.
Going back to an earlier point, hydrogen gas H2 is a great fuel because when you burn it, it just gives you water. Like you think about how combustion reactions work. It's between the fuel you've got and O2 gas. So you add them together, like with your typical fuels, say butane or propane or gasoline. It's made of hydrogen and carbon. So what you get is some H2O, like if you've ever seen water dripping out of an exhaust pipe of a car, that's what the H2O is. And some CO2 gas comes out of it as well. Usually it's mostly CO2 gas with a little bit of leftover H2O. But in the case of hydrogen gas, it's all hydrogen. So it's a 1-to-1 conversion to H2O. Pretty nice.
Big fan of that hydrogen stuff. Not as
Yeah.
much as Brian. He's always going on about how hydrogen power and other hydrogen technologies is the future.
It's a future.
Yeah, I'm not as like gung ho about it as he is, but you know, it does seem pretty nice. You know, conceptually.
It's an option we have for a future technology, but it's hard to predict the future because we don't know what's gonna. Because it's easy to look at the past and see what most important technological advancement of that time, but then we can't do that same thing when we look forward because some things are yet to be invented, and in some cases, maybe right now somebody is inventing something really, really smart, like somebody's just right now inventing like the perfect like a rocket powered car that will revolutionize the future, or you know, flying maglev trains or something, and
Reusable glue, or I don't know.
and we don't know that right now, so
Maybe Vaseline's been the secret to immortality. Who knew?
Yeah, sometimes we've been missing the whole thing this entire time.
It
but
baffles me how gasoline was just a useless oil byproduct for years. You know. Wow, you really can use every bit of the crude oil.
yeah, it's the perfect resource aside from all the damage to the environment.
No, it's great. Unfortunately, we're gonna run out of it, and it kind of sucks when you use it. But hey,
Yeah.
you know.
But you know, you can see how we'd be predicting things based on what we already know, which might become in like 10 minutes, perhaps, completely wrong. Perhaps in the next 4 seconds, somebody will dream up an invention that's going to be looked back on in 20 years as the most important invention of the century. And then 20 years after those 20 years, that'll be looked on as like, oh yeah, a nice stepping stone towards this most important invention of the 21st
Truly
century.
most useful thing he ever made, yeah.
But yeah, hydrogen gas, it's pretty radical. Like it's certainly gonna be useful in the future, unless we somehow. I don't know what would be better than hydrogen for a lot of things. Hydrogen's just really good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of atomic energy, you know. I mean, it's the atoms. I mean, we are literally manipulating molecules to boil water. But yeah, I always thought kind of hydrogen was just iffy-diffy, but then, like Brian pointed out, that you get that from algae. You can get a lot of good stuff from algae. And if you have algae, you might as well just get the hydrogen too, you know?
My friend is doing a project in her research class on algae biofuels, but frankly, I'm not too interested in that side of things. I think the best direction to go with it is to just like take the hydrogen and pack that into little cells like that. That's what you should use as fuel cells these days.
And
like
you should twist them into place. like with a crank on the top, and when you shoot them, they should explode, just like in all the video games.
I
Sorry.
prefer them to not explode when you shoot them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Don't ask why I'd want that on my car. It's just sometimes I go into bad parts of town,
Yeah, I mean,
dressed up as Batman.
and or other Silver Age comics. Yeah, no, I honestly, yeah, doesn't explode when you shoot it.
That'll be perfect, really.
Great marketing tagline.
Yeah, that's gonna be the contested marketing of the future. Is how explosive is it?
Not gonna believe it, guys. And it doesn't explode when you shoot it.
Yeah, or like it'll be like only 20% of test samples exploded upon shooting. But yeah, they definitely be volatile, but like, so firstly, so is gasoline, and second, we'd finally get an excuse for every car in a movie being like an explosive bomb. Just somehow, it's somehow.
I thought you were
like
anti-explode when you shoot it.
Well, it's somehow. It would finally give some credence to every car being a Pinto in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, fair. I mean, I like it when they shoot the car and it explodes too.
In fiction.
Yeah.
In real life, it's less cool, but I don't get shot at too often when I'm driving.
Yeah, lucky for me, I have been remarkably unshot at in my day-to-day life.
Yeah, I think it helps when we just hang around here. I don't
do a whole lot.
I'm not sure
come to think
anybody
of it,
here
yeah.
like knows how to fire a gun anyway.
I mean, I feel like some of them could figure it out.
A handful of people, I'm sure, have at least some intuition as to how, or maybe even practiced. But you really think they like carry them around? Those are big backpacks, but they're just like full of cards and
Yeah,
stuff.
no, like as far as like contesting with armed men, I think I'm gonna be all right. You know.
This is why I find our high school has a self-defense course that you can take instead of your normal PE classes. I find it ridiculous because if you've been to this town, Croton-on-Hudson, New York, USA,
35 North
check us
Riverside.
out. Yeah, we're right down on 35 North Riverside Avenue. It's a great place to be. I'm not sure crime happens here because most of the stuff on the police blotter is about annoying neighbors or kids going skinny dipping at the local landing.
Normally ending with "Don't worry, we took care of it."
Yeah, usually these things aren't like, oh man, you better watch out, there's something dangerous around. And when it is, it's usually, hey, we think we saw a bobcat a while back. Guard your trash bins. Yeah, it's a pretty safe town, and I'm not sure where you'd ever use self-defense. Frankly, I think this is more educational for people who are trying to use it as an offense.
I get that, but you know, you should better take that class in case any of those guys get it in their heads to. Yeah, unfortunately.
What is this, arms race theory?
I just live in a perpetual dark forest. I'm just waiting for the next predator to jump me.
Well, you know, I suppose that's safer in New York City for sure.
It's no way to live your life, but hey, haven't gotten stabbed yet, so must be working. Their enchantment. Take a leech.
I'll tell
I'm not
you.
exactly happy in this pile, but maybe I got something that works here. Maybe I should cut down that overlord I put in here.
That seems to
Alright, give me one moment. I just gotta.
Now I can just do what I want in regards to Ward. Yeah,
this ain't too bad.
yeah, I told you how I feel about this card. This card maybe shouldn't have been printed.
Yeah, it's a little. It's quite got something.
Yeah, no, this is a winner.
Yeah, It's just too good to not use if you can. Like, there's not even a question once you have black if you're gonna if you're gonna use Nowhere to Run. It's just like the default option
You
these
should
days.
go in there.
It's the equivalent of like not choosing Eldritch Blast as a warlock. What were you thinking? It's the thing to do. Frankly, it'll probably be a lot better for ecosystem ecosystem diversification when Nowhere to Run ever gets phased out.
Yeah, I hope they ban the card for that reason. I don't know. It should stick around for a little longer, but
yeah, give it a little more time for people to stop liking it, and then as soon as people stop really liking it, yeah, throw it out of rotation forever.
It's gonna
keep it buried.
It's gonna be kind of a big standard, so. No.
And come up with like similar cards, but all of them have got to be weaker and do like a slightly different fun thing. That's what you gotta do.
Having like anybody be able to pay to remove this could be cool, but it would really only shine in multiplayer games.
Well, I think what they gotta do now is
Oh, I don't have rooms. Why is this here? I gotta get rid of that.
But gotta like create some artificially implant some diversity into the black decks by just making very weaker variations of Nowhere to Run that do something that's like practically Nowhere to Run and
Oh man, are we at the murder problem again?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, they just print common level Nowhere to Runs that like enter minus, no hexproof award till end of turn.
Yeah, it's something like that. I was thinking like drop part of the Warden hexproof thing and replace that with some other neat conditions but do the same thing with them until end of turn, something along those lines.
I do think this style of like ignore hexproof and ward is kind of neat.
It's neat, but it's not.
Is it good though?
It's not that it's not good. It's that it's not. Well, it's not. It's good for an individual, but it's not good for the game as a whole to just start saying, "Yeah, we ignore rules now." We just like, yeah, it's the equivalent of
this kryptonite playstyle. Yeah.
Well, it's the equivalent of two kids in a schoolyard playing cops and robbers, and then the robber insists that he's gotten like a bulletproof vest on, and then the cowboy insists that his gun shoots fast enough to penetrate bulletproof vests. It's this issue, but with fancy cards that cost way too much money to just go nutting with them.
All right, buddy, you're going face down. Can't flip them over yet though, because I need the man. Do I want? I'll put out Lost. Now I'll put this out.
I've told you before my idea of the face down card of John Jones, investigator.
Oh yeah, face down cards. There's a cool play space here. They've never really seemed to work though. I do like it.
It's fun. It's fun, but it feels like it felt pretty niche up until, like, I think this time they actually managed to figure out what the right thing was for it. Like with, what were those recent energy cards they made just a while back that finally figured out something to do with that whole thing?
With they have a use already on the card, so...
Yeah, it creates energy and uses the same energy. Yeah. That one was nice. Because energy isn't really a mechanic that gets used anymore, aside from those
shows
sorts
up in
of cards.
More legacy sets.
Yeah.
I think it might show up in Aether Drift, because back when the plane was called Kaladesh, they were all about that.
Is it Aether Drift or Ether Drift?
Well, it's Aether spelled with an AE, but it's Aether Drift on the box, not Aether.
So wait, is there an E in that? Because Aether is just pronounced ether. It's weird, but it's just pronounced ether.
Yeah, look, man, I don't know if Wizards of the Coast knows, and I most certainly don't know. So.
Go ask Jeremy Crawford.
Actually, I don't think he works there no more.
Oh.
Not sure, though.
I swear I saw him like an actual Dungeons & Dragons official video recently.
Well, then he probably still does. I don't know.
That was closer to the time that the new monster manual got released.
Oh,
so maybe he got kicked off since then, but...
Yeah, I guess it's technically... No, I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, well, it was discussing the contents of the monster manual, so it was a little odd for him to be leaking secrets like the Titanic.
Yeah, I don't like the way this new edition released.
Yeah, it's they should have just waited to release it all at once, or like prepped better. Like,
yeah, much like many of the D&D games I've played in, should have prepped better.
It's a simple reality of most Dungeons and Dragons is you need to do more prep time is usually better.
Yeah, just do better at this. Well, yeah, no,
because they were really trying to aim for that 50th anniversary release. Really trying to aim for the 50th anniversary release, which means that you start cutting a lot of corners at some point. Because they realized that someday, I'm sure they had realized that they could not make the 6th edition of D&D, or like one D&D or whatever they'd originally had in mind. They had to just make a little tweaking to the original stuff. And then they failed at that. Like, why didn't you just use the Unearthed Arcana that everybody liked and cram that into a book? That would have been nice.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them finish some of the seemingly abandoned Unearthed Arcana instead of just jumping ship to a new system.
You know what I absolutely would have picked up if they made it? A new revamped version of Eldritch Wizardry from the original AD&D. It would have been the perfect homage. Because Eldritch Wizardry was like that, for the first supplementary book, but it gave us a lot of the stuff that we now think of as like core D&D. I don't think that was where we got the Ranger from, but it might have been. And it gave us a bunch of classic spellcasting classes. I think that's where Druids come from, and a handful of others. So if you just did that, that would be not only a great homage to the original visions for D&D, but would also be just a lot of fun to add to 5th edition. Like, you just go all out with random ideas.
But now that you mention it, I think that's why they didn't do it. That wasn't them. That was TSR.
Oh.
Personally, I think Wizards of the Coast is a little embarrassed by what this game used to be. Like, they bought it, but they don't like it.
There also might be some issues with who owns the rights to the copyright, the trademark for Eldritch Wizardry. But I feel like they've got the money to get around that,
I feel
right?
like anyone...
They hired the Pinkertons.
Yeah, no, they know which palms to grease.
So, yeah,
you know, if I'm saved here, I'm gonna squeal.
So, Eldritch Wizardry would have been a very fun one to sort of do a re-release for. Or, if you want to turn it back to some of those original... going with going with more of this idea of turning back the clock to 1974 for the... that real feeling of we're doing an homage to the old history of D&D. Do some, like, Pulp Fiction adventure stuff. Because that was what Gary Gygax was aiming for, was like Conan the Barbarian style stuff that you get in those old-timey magazines that were like this big.
Yeah, I have some old Conan comics. They're good reading.
Yeah.
My favorite one is he said, Conan, I want you to go capture this white tiger because a tiger bit my hand. And he goes to do that, and the white tiger's a lady. She's a shapeshifter. And she's like, yeah, this guy's crazy. He's just gonna, like, kill all the tigers. He's gonna throw them in a big pot of boiling oil. And, like, Conan's like, well, you can't have that. One, a pretty lady's telling me not to do this. And two, you just don't throw cats into boiling oil because you get mad.
That's just kind of mean.
Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah, you're right. You convinced me. This guy sucks. I'll go do that. And another one is like, he's running away from like I think it was werewolves, and he finds himself in this sheltered village, and the village is like, don't worry, Conan, we'll fight those brutes off. They all die. So it's just Conan walking away like, okay, well I tried my best.
Yeah. A lot of the Conan comics were almost
And then Conan leaves.
Because here's the thing, Robert E. Howard, creator of Conan the Barbarian, originally wanted to do a story with his his little golden child character, Cole of Atlantis, who was the ruler of Atlantis during the Thurian Age, which actually precedes the Hyborian Age in his great cycle, and then the editor of the publisher and editor of the whole Weird Tales, I think it was, read the book, and his stories were all like Cole of Atlantis looking back on his whole thing, and was like, okay, if any of you have ever read Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, it's a lot like that. He's looking at his whole life, and he's like, man, becoming the proud ruler that I am now actually sucked. I liked it way more when I was just punching people and beating them up with a sword. Being a warlord,
You think it'd be really cool?
Yeah,
it's not.
You'd think it would be fun, and you get to slaughter tons of people, but it's actually just a lot of managing legal matters. It was way more fun to be a mercenary back then, and more and more as he has to become more, he's driven to more and more paranoia as he's like, oh, I can't trust anybody around me because they are all associated with these cults of serpent people from Volusia or whatever it was. He's like, oh, I'm surrounded by the worst intrigue I've ever seen in my life. This is actually more dangerous than when I was out on the street slaughtering people. And they were like, no, you can't do this. Cole of Atlantis is way too depressing as a main character. And
I feel bad for this guy. He's complaining that he can't murder people.
We don't like
anymore.
how introspective this psychopathic murderer is. You have to do something different. And so Howard dumbed it
maybe write about a psychopathic murderer.
Well, he just dumbed it down into Conan the Barbarian, who's proud of being a psychopathic murderer, doesn't stop to consider his actions, so you don't either.
I have killed. I will kill.
Yeah,
and will continue to kill.
You just run along with the story with Conan doing awesome stuff like killing a whole tribe of people who look different from him. Because they look different from him.
They looked at me weird, and they look different than me.
And yeah, that was a bunch of the stories from back then, and it sold really well. People loved racism. They loved racism, and
it's all the rage these days.
And it wasn't unintentional. H.P. Lovecraft was Robert E. Howard's second best friend, I think. In fact,
okay, Lovecraft had friends?
Yeah, Lovecraft loved hanging out with the fellow Weird Tales people. There's a whole circle. If you look at, there's this whole Lovecraft mythos, there's a whole Cthulhu mythos fandom out there that has a good page describing the various levels of canon in the greater expanded Cthulhu mythos stuff, starting with stuff that H.P. Lovecraft worked right at the center, stuff that he worked on, and then there's an outer part that's the H.P. Lovecraft circle, people who he wrote letters to, because they were fellow writers at Weird Tales, so he talked to them in person, visited their houses occasionally, these were his drinking buddies, his pen pals,
and then Lovecraft was a terrible drunk.
Yeah, they're secretly, there's
he's just screaming about eels or something.
There's secretly this huge interconnected universe of racism, mostly.
Racism, the collected tales.
The racism cinematic universe. It's finally coming together. But
I've been waiting for years now.
But yeah, it was actually really impressive stuff. You had all these people working together to create these huge overarching stories, and in the midst of it, you had Robert E. Howard building the archetypical sword and sorcery adventures with Conan the Barbarian, who over time just evolved into a more tongue-in-cheek parody of like a lampoon of classic sword and sorcery adventures that were inspired by his own genre
Wouldn't
and
so much call it
writings.
lampoon, more like just it'd be like if the guy who what's the word what's a good example? It'd be like the Earl of Sandwich came back to show everybody how sandwich making is done. Well, you have to say, I don't think there was any shame in any of Conan's stories. It's like, no, this is what it is. It is the age of buff men with swords doing buff man with sword skills.
It's a weird case where it's a lot like watching the 1966 Batman show. If you treat it all as entirely like everybody on this production was trying to aim for a serious reproduction of the original Batman comics and was actually aiming to create something good here, then the show sucks, because it did not create something that could be taken seriously at all. But when you look into it, the director and the producer, when they were given the green light to make this show, they looked through the old comics and were like, we can't make a serious show out of this. The only way we can make a good production of this is to make it a slapstick comedy where everybody treats it as pure seriousness. And that's what they did. And once you realize that, it's a great story. And that's basically how Robert E. Howard's Conan the Barbarian stories are. Because if you read them and treat Robert E. Howard as being entirely serious about all this goes true for the entire Lovecraft mythos as well. If you treat the authors as being all serious about all of this, they suck. They're just not good authors, and they're kind of stupid to treat all this as truly terrifying stuff that the reader would be interested in. But then you look at it, and H.P. Lovecraft is frequently just mocking, he has self-deprecating humor about the ridiculousness and convolutedness of his own work in his letters to his close friends. He once was asked by fellow pulp horror author Robert Bloch if Bloch was asking him if he could make a character named something Blake, Mr. Blake, inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, and H.P. Lovecraft sent him back a letter that said, to whomever it may concern, I hereby declare that Robert Bloch is fully permitted to torture, maim, mutilate, kill, annihilate, explode, obliterate, and do any other manner of horrible things to Mr. Blake, inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, with witnesses including Nyarlathotep and Azathoth.
So he's like, dude, just made my character, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't care that a parody of him, his real life likeness, is getting attacked. He
Take the real guy.
Yeah, he treats all of this as complete hilariousness. Frankly, I wish he treated the.
Maybe if he smiled a little more, he wouldn't be such a despicable fish-hating grump.
Part of me wishes that he just was more public about this. I just do this to write ridiculous stories that are partially intended as great works of cosmic horror, but are also parodies of the genre that I am currently prototyping. It's it's the unbuilt trope. That's the term I'm looking for. With Conan the Barbarian's sword and sorcery meant to be not really just, everybody murders everyone and that's so cool, which was how every book in the genre at the time was treating it, except for Conan, the progenitor of it. Similarly, with H.P. Lovecraft, he did not intend to make it look that way, and then everybody was like, oh my gosh, we gotta, put together all of these secret plots, and every Lovecraft fan these days is unless you're either a casual Lovecraft fan who's yeah, these books are all pretty neat, I don't like how racist he is, though, but there's pretty neat readings here. And then the other group of them are they've read every issue of Weird Tales they can get their hands on, probably purchased a physical copy as well. They've got a whole, the kind of cork boards where they've got all the things pinned up on the wall.
Connecting conspiracy board.
Connecting every elder god, outer god, what all these different terms mean, who the old ones are, what's the family tree of Azathoth and Cthulhu, every little detail, because you can really go down a rabbit hole.
It's all going to be important.
You can go down one hell of a rabbit hole if you treat Lovecraft's works as intended to be serious. He was doing it all by the seat of his pants because he had a deadline to get to every week to publish an issue of Weird Tales. He just had to churn out stories, so sometimes he makes random errors that completely contradict a last week's story. Sometimes he's just goofing off. Sometimes he comes up with something that's meant to be, like, complete silliness, like, the evil cult of Tsathoggua, the vile god from the Hyborian cycle, is led by the Kenyanian priest Clark Ashton, which is just named after Clark Ashton Smith, creator of Tsathoggua, in his old Hyborian cycle books.
Where are you guys
Oh, so yeah, it was all intended as a good bit of fun between Lovecraft and friends.
I'll just punch all that life back out of him.
Oh yeah, that's the best move. Hit him good.
Hold that back as a...
Yeah, that's good. Wham! Wham!
They're more persistent lifelink. I must have neglected to pick up any. Burn out here. Oh, they're just letting this happen to me, huh?
Hmm.
Come on. Got this far in the game. You don't have to slow down now. I still think you could win.
Yeah. Give us a real fight, you dingus.
Oh, you put up a great fight. I don't know why you're dragging your feet now all of a sudden.
Yeah. Now is not the time to slow down. Now is the time to just,
Go.
give it your all. Like, just play the game the most you can. Now isn't the time to slow down if you think you're gonna lose the game.
Yeah, either concede or fight. Don't.
Yeah.
None of this.
Now is the time that you just go straight to, everything you can do. Don't. Now isn't a good time to pull your punches. Just like
Do it.
do all the fighting you can.
I hope you're not in your computer chair. I hope you stood up and
Yeah. If
walked
this person
away.
is stuck in the bathroom, then you still got honor in this. No shame
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, if something bad happened, your phone ran out of battery, or that's fine. But
Yeah.
if you're just sitting there seething at your computer screen,
I doubt that they are. I think they would have just forfeited, or at least tried to play a card before they timed out.
yeah,
I've never met somebody who just actually waits for the countdown, like the whole thing. Cause that's Magic the Gathering has a pretty it's a kind of a lengthy timeout counter. So I don't think
they make it happen.
it takes some weird kind of hatred to just let that thing run its whole course. At any rate, though, it's past 10, and my dad is outside in his car.
So yeah, you should probably get out of here.
Yeah.
I'll finish up this draft. Don't you worry about it.
All right.
Let's see. 1 loss, 1 win. Exiting with like 100 gems ain't too bad. Go again. Dropping those keys because I think I just ended up throwing them away anyway. We're going hard on the cards to make sure we get our land balance. Elijah K signing off. Great. Yeah, this is a bad hand. Spin it. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Throw that away, pull out the planes. See if we can ramp the friendly ghosts. I don't think we're getting the draw, but maybe I'll play it later. If that helps. I might as well commune with evil, see what we got. Bedhead. I did turn back on the... Yeah, I did. You know what? I'm actually gonna throw away my Blazemire Verge. They throw Fear of Lost Teeth to blow up Piggy Bank. Oh no, this is just gonna double hit me. I might throw Friendly Ghosts in the way, come to think about it. I guess I ain't doing that. Hold on. Drew the right card for that. Yep, and it might be cooked here. Might be toasted. Still staying in the fight though. Life. Or discards 2. No, might as well -1/-1 them. No. I like your rooms, dude. Why is it colored like that? Colored and modified. For what? Create. Blue spirit. Yeah, why is it colorless? I don't know why he countered that. Oh, I guess if is the door colorless when it's both locked? Is that a new rule? I don't remember that being a rule. Nope, cooked. Good game. Oh, I need a merge for the cocoon. Oh, it doesn't deal damage equal to its life, it just deals 1. Always deals 1. I'm glad they didn't change this. They changed the Angry Bee Thopter. But at least he can do maximum Soul Ring still. Oh, come on! It's one good turn! You can't be like this! Eventually I'll draw some red. F-touch. Ooh, that would have been cool overall. Alright, we got an opening here. There you go. Finally put out that candle. Turn off the lights. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. So disturbing Murph out there. Sonia, can you stash away those lands I put in the drinks carrier? I would do it myself, but this draft might go a little long because someone keeps slow playing. Ugh.
Okay. Have a fucking covered.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Alright, let's beat that once. Shepherding Spirits, I could pull back. They're always texting me during this. Might be able to win this, unless. Use a merge for Cocoon on this bad boy. We're gonna lose Acrobatic Cheerleader here. Oh, that is a new rule. Fully locked rooms are colorless. Okay. Oh, you're flying. I can't deal with flying.
Okay. Not like that's hard. It's just. Sonia.
Most valuable Slayer has to go out. Give that sucker first strike. He's gotta block this one with his demon or he loses the game. He has 8 damage worth of creatures right there. I can't block Fear of Lost Teeth because he will heal and damage me. Alright, block with that. Okay, if they pull out Let's Play a Game, we're back on a fighting to win. They did, okay. Ooh, they did. I'm at 7 life. They have a pump spell, don't they? Yeah, good game. Oh, neck and neck for a while, but ends had to come to ends, I suppose. We're gonna get pity packs out of this, so you might as well crack those open. And I feel like I grabbed a good amount of useful rares, so can't be too mad about it. Just more. Good, useful stuff. Ooh, wait. Cast this spell. Oh, it has trample. Oh, but I don't have to cast it. I can copy it. Ooh. And Screaming Nemesis. This card is mean. This card is mean and bad. And Sonia's turning out the lights, so I'll do the next one quickly. Enduring Tenacity. That's my first one. The Glimmers are good cards. This card enables kind of the infinite loop. And it comes back as an enchantment, so it's even harder to remove. If you want to be an absolute piece, play that. And as I said, end of the stream. What an end it was. No bonus sneaky games after this one. But I got places to be tomorrow, and I'm sure you do too. Yeah, goodbye, good luck, see you next time. Check our website for upcoming events and products, thirduniverse.com, or shop in the chat.